All right, this week for our Scholastic News magazine, we are going to read about Mo Doesn't Give Up. So if you will pull that magazine out right now, we're going to read that together today, just like we would in class. So I'm going to pull up my magazine and I'm going to flip it around so you can see it, and then I'm going to read it with you today. And then maybe at the end, we will watch the video or some of the other things that we normally do on our Scholastic videos. All right, so let me pull it up and let me get it flipped around so that we can look at it together. It's taking a minute. It's still taking a minute. My hair is sticking up, boys and girls. Look at all this gray hair. Oh my goodness. All right, let's open it up. All right, here we go. I'm gonna flip it around. All right, so our cover says, Mo Doesn't Give Up. Mo Willems is an author and illustrator. He has made more than 60 books. How does he do it? All right, so we're going to read here. All right, at the top we have our title, which is Good Work, Mo. And our question beside it says, how does Mo make a book? He has great work habits. So we're going to read one section at a time. We're going to start with number 1. Okay, read along with me. Mo takes his time. Mo made up the characters Elephant and Piggy. It took him a long time. He wanted 2 animals that were just right together. He drew a lot of pictures. He wrote down a lot of ideas. He did not rush. Finally, he had it. Elephant and Piggy were the perfect pair. All right, number 2. Mo knows mistakes are okay. Mo's books aren't perfect on the first try. He makes mistakes. That's okay. A pencil has an eraser for a reason, he says. You can erase a mistake and try again. Mo makes a lot of changes on each book. I make many drafts, he says. Here is a draft and the final page from his book, A Big Guy Took My Ball. And so here we have his draft page where he kind of sketched out his ideas. And here we have the final page of what it looks like when he was done. All right, number 3, Mo doesn't give up. Mo wasn't always a famous author. His first book was Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. Mo sent it to book companies. No one wanted it. He didn't give up. He thought his book was good. Finally, after 2 years, someone published it. Number 4, Mo believes in himself. Mo thinks his stories are good. He thinks your stories are good too. He says that the stories you write are just as important as the ones he writes. There's no difference between what a first grader is doing and what I am doing, he says. All right, let's go to the next page. And we are going to answer some questions together. All right, write the titles in order. Look at the Mo Willems books below. Type or write the titles in ABC order on the lines. We did the first one for you. Okay, we're going to do this together, so you don't have to write down the answers here. I'm going to do it on the computer, I hope. Okay, let's see what happens here. All right, so we know we have the books Elephants Cannot Dance is our first choice. Don't Let Pigeon Drive the Bus. Goldilocks. Who is the Mystery Reader? Nuffle Bunny. And Leonardo, the Terrible Monster. It's very hard for me to read this small. All right, so the first one they've told us is Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. All right, so we know by doing alphabetical order, we start with A and then B and then C, and then we got to D and we had something. All right, the next letter of the alphabet is E. Do we have any books that start with an E? We do. We have Elephants Can't Dance. So we're going to click on that. It may not let me do anything here. I'm going to have to type it. Oh my goodness, this is going to be hard. Okay, let me see if I can figure out a way to prop this up. Let's see, I don't know how I'm going to do this. All right, we'll just talk about it. We're not going to type it because I can't talk about it. Okay, so number 2 would be elephants cannot dance because that starts with the letter E. Okay, then we're going to go to F. Do we have any Fs on here? We don't. Do we have any Gs? We do. So the third book, if we were doing an alphabetical order, would be Goldilocks. That would be our third book. All right, number 4. So we've got through F, G, H. Don't have any H's, any I's, any J's, any K's. We do. So K is going to be Knuffle Bunny for number 4. Then after K, we have the letter L. Do we have any L books? We do. Leonardo would be number 5, and that leaves number 6 for Who is the Mystery Reader? All right, let's go back to this and let's watch Meet Mo Williams.
Meet Mo Williams.
Hello, my name is Mo Williams, and I make books. That means I write them, I draw them, I think about them, and hopefully you'll read them. I've been really lucky in my career. I get to do all kinds of interesting things. I've made animated films, I've written for television, I've written plays, I've had exhibits, but the thing that I love the most are books. And this is why I love books, because everything in a picture book is unique. Every picture book creator has their own style. They've got their own thing to say, their own way of saying it.
Hey Mo, how do you get ideas?
So I'm always thinking of ideas, and often they come when I don't expect them. I'm walking the dog, or I'm having a conversation or something, and suddenly this tiny seed speaks out and says, hey, maybe there's something here. So I go and I try and remember that seed, and I go to my notebook. And I put it in my notebook, and I play with it, and I sort of turn it around and stretch it, and take that idea, that little seed, and put it into different positions. And over the years, I have got tons of notebooks of ideas that I can then come back to and see if maybe one seed and another seed, if I put them together, I can make something new or something special.
How do the words in your books show what characters are feeling?
When I make a book, I see the words as a type of illustration. So when a character is really excited, really angry, I make sure that the words are really big. Or maybe I change their color, or I change their direction. And if a character is really sad, or they're whispering, I make those letters really, really small. Because what I am is I am a director, and you are my performer. I am trying to direct you to read the stories in the way that I intended. And so if I slant all the letters, make them metallic, then you'll read them differently. If I make them super bold, you'll read them heavier. All those different things are techniques that I use so that I can manipulate you into doing what I want.
Do you ever make mistakes?
Do I ever make mistakes? Yeah, absolutely. I make mistakes all the time. A matter of fact, part of my job is to make mistakes. So that every now and then, one of those mistakes has a germ of something I wouldn't have thought of, and it becomes something great. Making mistakes is the most important of the process.
Do you make your books all by yourself?
When you are an author-illustrator, when you are writing and drawing something, it is, in a sense, yours. You've created it. But there's always somebody helping you. There's my kid. There's my wife. There's my editor. There's my agent. There are my friends who are also writers. Sometimes we share each other's work and we give each other advice. So even if it just has my name on the cover, that doesn't mean that I'm the only person who was involved with that story.
How long does it take you to make a book?
So whatever book I'm working on right now, the ideas that I'm having, that I'm sharing with my editor, the sketches that I'm making, If you're in second grade right now, the soonest that that book would be finished, you would be in fourth grade. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of writing. It takes a lot of drawing. So the process takes years. Finishing a book is fun. It's cool. But it takes a while before the book is made because it has to go to the printer and there's technical stuff that has to happen. And then finally one day you get a box in the mail and there's the final book and it's in your hands and man, that feels really cool. But I tell you, for me, what feels the coolest is if I walk into a bookshop or I walk into a library or I'm just somewhere on the street and there's a real life kid reading one of my books and laughing. That is amazing. That is the best experience that I have ever had in my professional life.
Hey Mo, can kids be writers too?
Here's the thing. If you like to write, and you like to draw, and you like to make stories, you are a writer. You are an illustrator right now. That means that you have something to say. You have something to share. There's an audience out there that wants to hear what is uniquely you, what matters to you. And this is the time, while everybody else is, running around or at recess or playing video games or doing whatever, for you to be able to sit down and discover how to communicate your you-ness to the world outside. So I'm going to speak just to you right now. That illustrator, that cartoonist who's sitting there watching this with all the other classmates or at home or whatever you're doing, take your time. The days you don't feel like drawing, draw those days anyway, because there's something special in you that's going to come out of your pen or out of your pencil, and it's going to change
Whoops. Let me get it to finish.
the world.
All right, boys and girls, so tomorrow we will maybe play a game on here with our story just like we do in Scholastic, and we will have some worksheets that we will do on our story for the week. I hope you enjoy learning about Mo.